Okay, let's be honest. Staying focused during homeschool can sometimes be quite a challenge. So today I will be sharing 5 tips with you on how I stay focused during homeschool as a homeschool teen myself. These tips are something so easy to incorporate into your homeschool if you're already homeschooled, or if you're thinking about getting into homeschool and you're trying to find out how am I going to get my kid to stay focused throughout the entire day? These tips are for you. So I'll be sharing 5 tips, and at the end of the video, I hope that you get some sort of understanding of how to stay focused during homeschool. So the first tip that helps me stay focused is listening to music. And no, I don't mean your average playlist. I don't mean pop music. I don't mean rap music. I don't mean any kind of music that's gonna have someone talking or talking to you. I prefer something so universal and so simple, like lo-fi music for homeschool work that I have to do. I noticed that listening to music always helps me relax. It's so easy. When I listen to lo-fi music, my brain just kind of quiets down and just focuses only on the work. But listening to other types of music, like let's just say where a singer's singing or saying something in the background, I notice it can be more distracting. So if you listen to some lo-fi music, maybe I also listen to sometimes lo-fi music covers of real songs. Those also help because it kind of reminds you of the song. But yeah, listening to music just puts you in the right headspace. You're not really worried. You're not really frantic or thinking about something else. You just I notice when I put it on, I just zone in to my work. I just focus. So lo-fi music helps a ton in staying focused. So this next thing, and this is a very, very, very important thing. And once I started to do this, I noticed a huge difference. Here's the thing, right? And maybe a lot of you might not like it, especially if you are a kid yourself, but the parents will love this. I know they will, because you guys do this anyway, but it's important. And I know it's important. I don't like it, but I know it's important, which is putting your phone away, taking your phone and putting it in a different room and not going back in unless you really know someone's going to text you or you're really going to need something. When you do this, when you put your phone away in another room, you are not as tempted to check your phone, because chances are you have to get up, you have to go into the other room, you have to look around for your phone and then pick it up and then do it and then go on it. So I noticed that when I put my phone in another room and I leave it there for the entire day, it's so much more effective in helping me focus, because I'm not always checking it. When it's right next to you, you have a billion distractions on your phone. So the second you just put it into a different room, you shut the door, you just leave it there, that's going to be so much easier for you to focus, because the phone is such an easy distraction. So my recommendation is you just put your phone away in a different room during the school days, just like in school. You're not really allowed to have your phone out in school, at least not the one I went to. My school did not allow that, and I feel like that's something you can incorporate into your homeschool, especially if you're a mom. I know you guys love taking our phones, so you can just put it in a different room. It's a lot easier. You'll focus, and your mind's just off your phone. So this next thing, it's also as important, I would say almost as important as the last point, which is sitting in an accountability spot. So sitting in an accountability spot is gold when it comes to focusing on your work, because the chances are, if you know you're going to be held accountable by the person sitting right next to you, you're going to focus on your work. So this can mean I'll give you an example. Me and my brother, we actually did this recently. We tried this out. My mom kind of sat our desks right next to each other, but one of us are facing this wall, one of us are facing that wall. And, we have our computers there. And honestly, I would say that made it a huge difference in focusing on my work, because someone's sitting right behind you. So you can also see if they're goofing off, and I can see if, they're goofing off. So it's kind of that thing that's you get constant accountability, because when you're by yourself, you can just wander off in your own mind, go into a dreamlike state and then just completely zone out. When you're in an accountability spot, nailed it. When you're in an accountability spot, it's a lot easier to focus on your work, because you get held accountable just by sitting where you are sitting. And number 4, this one is also very important. I know all of these are important, but they're all very important. And this one's important in the way that it's just like something we all need. And you probably do this already anyways, but it's so important to just remember to do it, because you could either be the type that does this all the time or doesn't do this enough. So I would say number 4 is taking a break. Taking a break. That means when you need a break, you just go take it. Now, it's not like get distracted and like go to the fridge 100 times to get a snack, but it means like taking a break just to like reboot, reset. You can walk around the house, get some fresh air, open a window, just even take a walk around your neighborhood if that's what you're allowed to do. Like just go take a walk outside around your neighborhood for like 5 minutes and just come back. Like that's the great thing about being homeschooled. Like we could be so flexible in what we do. Just like giving your mind a mental break, because being inside for a long time, I think I saw like an article or something, it's not good for your brain. It's like, it can be damaging. So, being homeschooled, you're probably going to be home a good amount of the time, depending on how you do it. But I would say just taking a break, mental reset, just reboot for like 5 minutes and then come back. I also heard this tactic called the Pomodoro technique. I use this like sometimes with my sister. I also use it with. We kind of just work for like 25 minutes straight, and then we take a break for 5 minutes. But the thing is, we kind of adapted based on our like characters. So I kind of like working in larger chunks of time. I feel like every time like 20 minutes is not enough. I feel like 30 minutes gives me a chance to really complete everything, or at least that section, before I take a break. So I noticed that like maybe my sister might need like a quicker break to come, like maybe every 20-ish minutes. So you can adapt it based off of what suits you the best. That doesn't mean you take out your phone and you bring it where you're sitting and you start laying on it and then you leave it there. You just want to take a break, walk around, deep breath, and relax, That's what a break is about. So this next point is a fail-safe. So if all else fails, if all the above, everything I talked about fails, I have this one fail-safe that always, I would say, works. For me, I've noticed it works like 100% of the time. Now, 100% of anything is probably not true. So I'll say 98% of the time. This works. It's if all else fails. Or if you just like to go to the library. Now, I know it sounds counterintuitive to some people. Like, why would I go to the library? That's like the last place I'll focus. I'll just zone. I'll be so bored. Blah, 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 blah. But wait, hold on. The library is, at least for me, maybe this won't work for everyone. At least for me, the library is literally one of the most calming places, one of the most focused places you'll ever go to, at least the library I'm near. When I go to the library, the chances of me not completing at least one of my tasks is so slim to none. It's crazy, because the library is a place that oh my God, like the focus level is incredible, because it's almost like what I said, all of what I said combined minus the break. Because you're not really going to be using your phone. You're not going to necessarily be in a spot that's alone. The library I go to has like chairs where you're like sitting next to people and they're working quietly and you're working quietly. So it's just like this quiet co-op group. Like, we're here to get work done. That's the vibe the library gives. We're here to get work done. I would say going to a library is like the ultimate fail-safe. Like, all of these fail. Go to the library, maybe take some food. Like, sometimes we take food to the library if we're going to stay there a little longer. We take it in these like thermos canisters that we pack, and we just put our meal in there, and we eat lunch at the library, but we go outside, or they have like an indoor table we can eat at. But the truth is, the library is just such a calm place. And like, at least for if you're like a high school homeschooler, or like I would say middle school homeschooler, middle school to high school homeschoolers can do this. I don't know what the schedule is like for like elementary homeschoolers, because I know there could be a little bit more, a handful, I would say, but at least for middle school to high school homeschoolers. But yeah, I would say that going to the library is just the best. It's just the best. Like, all right, so that is my top 5 things that I use to keep me focused during homeschool. And let me know if you try any of these out, which one sounded interesting to you. Were there any that I missed? Are there any that you guys have to tell me? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section down below, and make sure you like, subscribe, share it with a fellow homeschooler who needs this help too. Stay staying focused during homeschool may not be super easy, but it's not impossible. But yeah, this is the end of the video. I will see you guys in another video, and make sure to subscribe if I didn't add that. Make sure to subscribe if you like this content. Okay.